What's up, A to Z Sports here live on this Thursday. It's my fault that we're later than normal because I'm having a ridiculous morning for no reason. So, we're going to have a good show today. Jack Gentry in here. I'm Austin Stanley talking about the Titans. And Jack has four bold predictions that kind of aren't that crazy. We're going to find out how doable are these bold predictions that Jack has coming up for this Titans 2023 season. Going to have a great show here because this has to do with offense, it has to do with defense, it has to do with several different players that I think are going to have massive impacts on this upcoming season. And so, bold prediction time here on the show to kick off this Thursday morning. Titans practice is set to start in just about 1 hour at 9:15 a.m. Central Time. And the weather might be something we're going to have to deal with here, Jack, as the rain is coming through. So I've asked Sam Phelan, who is on his way to St. Thomas Sports Park for some assistant coach interviews, to kind of give us updates if the Titans practice is going to happen or not, or maybe they'll have to move inside the bubble. But hey, we're going to have a great show here on this Thursday with these four bold predictions. So, Jack, welcome in here. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling.
Let's absolutely do that. Happy Thursday to you guys. The weekend's just around the corner. We got fight night. We got the Grand Prix in Nashville. It's exciting times for a sports fan, not to mention the NFL preseason gets kicked off tonight. So a lot to be excited about. But before we get into everything, we want to share the show on Facebook. So share that link to all of your Titans Facebook groups. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure to text that link to all your Titans text groups. And most importantly, if you're watching on YouTube, tap that bell icon at the top of your screen. Turn those notifications on so you get an update every time A to Z Sports goes live. You don't want to miss anything. It's a crazy time in the NFL offseason. With the season just around the corner, you don't want to miss any tidbit of news. Obviously, the Titans have had a roller coaster of an offseason, but we're getting closer. We're getting closer to week 1 in New Orleans. So bear with us, and we'll be there in no time. But in the meantime, we're going to have an awesome show today. So glad you all are here.
Yeah, this is the Jack Gentry driven show today with these four bowl predictions. But hey, let's get this show on the road officially. Welcome to A to Z Sports, powered by the BetMGM app. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Jack Gentry of the Tighten Up Podcast. Go check that out on the A to Z Sports Podcast Network. We are Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, and we go live every weekday morning at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter timeline at A to Z Sports, and also make sure you hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more Titans content. Got to thank our sponsors because they truly make it happen for us, and they help out all of you, like Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process by seeing them in Lebanon or on online at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Farm Bureau Health Plans. Get better with Farm Bureau Health Plans, better coverage rates and service at fbhp.com/ATOZ. The Aura app, keeping us all safe online, and you can get a 2-week free trial with our link, aura.com/ATOZ. And Krebs Kubota, an elite Kubota dealer in Nashville, Middle Tennessee, with 3 great locations in Murfreesboro, Franklin, and Columbia. Check them out for all your equipment needs at KrebsKubota.com. So, Jack, before we get going here, let's see. Somebody asked this question earlier. Wax on YouTube says, damn, does Zach even on the show anymore? Zach is taking an unofficial show hiatus because of all the work that he's having to do in Dallas. Made some new hires for our A to Z Dallas market. So Zach is taking the onboarding process there, which is taking up a lot of his time. Plus, me and Sam go to Titans practices. So we've got our eyes, and then Jack always has his ear to the Titans media and always paying attention to what's going on. So Zach would be the least informed person throughout this month. So he'll be back later on once the season gets settled in here. But Jack, you also mentioned week 1's fastly approaching. Mm-hmm. Alvin Kamara is probably not going to be on the field. So that news dropped yesterday that NFL is expecting to suspend Alvin Kamara for the situation that happened in Las Vegas a couple Pro Bowls ago. And so, hey, my bet on BetMGM app is already locked and loaded at Titans +3 in that game. So, hey, don't wait too long. Titans +3 with no Alvin Kamara in New Orleans, I think, is a great bet to start the season. But, Jack, you on Tuesday, I don't know what it was, about July 31st, or what was that, August 1st? August 1st, you're like, it's time. Bold prediction time on August 1st. And so you set out 4 bold predictions for this Titan season. We're going to walk through them one by one, but kind of take us through your thought process on why August 1st and how you came up with these.
Well, August is football time. I believe we have an NFL primetime game every week from now until February. So locked and loaded. The football season is officially here. But my bold predictions kind of centered around some of the hottest names out at camp right now. And some names that Titans fans have a good reason to be excited about heading into the 2023 season. We'll get into the predictions here in a little bit. None of these are totally unachievable. I think all 4 could happen this season. The likelihood of that is something we'll discuss as the show moves forward. But I think you guys are going to enjoy these topics, going to enjoy some of these bold predictions. And look, I want to hear from some of you guys in the comments. If you got any bold predictions on the Titans season with player-related predictions, drop them in the comments. I want to see what you guys think as well. So I'm excited to share some of these with you. Excited to see what you guys think. I'm sure the chat will be polarized as always, but let's get into it.
Are you somebody that is superstitious? I feel like I should know this, but like, are you
100%.
superstitious?
Yeah, I am.
A little or just a lot or super?
More than a little, less than a lot. So I'm medium superstitious. Like anytime we talk about the Titans injuries on the Tighten Up podcast, which is out now with Sam Phelan, I make sure we knock on wood. I'm a big knock on wood guy. And even sometimes it comes down to clothing. Like if I wore a hat and the Titans won last week, I'm probably going to wear that hat again on game day on Sunday. Like there's a little bit in it for me. I'm not like a full-on baseball relief pitcher or anything, but I'm a little stitious.
You're a little stitious. All right. That's good to know. Do you feel like you making bold predictions on these? Because you're making 4-player bold predictions. Do you feel like you are jinxing any of these guys, or do you not have the power? How far does your stitiousness go with it?
No. This is not. I'm not jinxing any of these guys. Okay. If anything, a couple of these guys already have jinxes on them, so there's not much else I can do.
Fair point. All right, so the first bold prediction for Jack A. Gentry here on this Thursday morning. We're going to start, as some people are bringing up his name already in the chat. Arden Key, 10 plus sacks for the new Titan edge rusher, Arden Key, who is already at 13 sacks through training camp to his count, as Sam and I are keeping track of Arden Key's own sack count throughout training camp. But bold prediction number 1, Jack, is new Titans edge rusher Arden Key, 10 plus sacks. I will let you give your explanation here.
Yeah, I really like this. Not only because Arden Key is a chip on his shoulder and could get all 10 against the Jaguars in those 2 games this year, but he's on his 4th team in 6 seasons. He's got 11 sacks combined in the last 2 years, and this is a guy that hasn't had a lot of stability and has only started 3 games since his rookie year. So he hasn't had a lot of opportunity either. And SEC fans will remember what kind of monster he was in college. I mean, he set LSU's single season sack record with 12 sacks in a year, which is absolutely berserk. But I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity up front, especially with Harold Landry kind of easing his way back in from that knee injury. And I think he's going to get off to a hot start, and I believe he gets this done before the end of the season. I think he clears this, not easily, because 10 sacks is a big number, but I do think he can clear this year.
So 10 sacks for Arden Key. As I mentioned, he's got 13 sacks through 5 training camp practices to his count. And we'll continue to ask him every day how many sacks he had in that practice to keep up with it. And look, he is a fun person. Obviously, he is one of the big storylines of this Titans training camp because of how funny he is. And the fact that Azeez Al-Shire, I don't know if you saw that, Azeez jumped into the press conference and asked him a question about, you used to have your stomach rolls hanging over your pads and now you're all fit and chiseled now. And Arden Key is like, yeah, I used to be fat. But he's not fat anymore, and he's very fast. Arden Key's very fast, very tall, very long, and has been very explosive over the first week of training camp, and that should continue. And I think you have a good point with what the Titans have up front defensively of Jeffrey Simmons, Tier Tart, and some other guys that are looking pretty solid inside. Then you've got Danico Autry, who's a Swiss Army knife type of player. And then on the edge, you've got elite speed and bend and athleticism in the duo of Harold Landry and Arden Key. So look, they're going to help each other. This is like a couple years ago when the Titans had a big time pass rush because everybody was eating. You had Harold had 12 plus sacks. Then you had Jeff and Autry that were approaching 10. And so you were able to really get a lot of sack numbers because of just the unit that they had as a whole. So Arden Key, 10 plus sacks. So here's what we're going to do for all of these. So Jack's first bowl prediction, Arden Key, 10 plus sacks. So how we're going to do this is we're going to go through these one by one. That's the first one. And we're going to ask you the question so you guys can get yourself involved here. What percentage chance do you give Arden Key to have 10 plus sacks this season? What percentage chance do you give Arden Key to have 10 plus sacks this season? We'll get to all your comments, but first, the Bone and Joint Institute. If you get hurt in life, the Bone and Joint Institute can help you get back to health. You got to do that. It's absolutely important for you to not let that injury linger, because then it can just start affecting other parts of your body, which can make injuries worse. So go check out the Bone and Joint Institute in Franklin, Tennessee. They are the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. And so they've got all the resources at their disposal to help you out, get back to health. I've been a member and a customer, I guess, a client, if you want to say, of the Bone and Joint Institute, because they have helped me through multiple injuries in my past as well. And I've been able to stay injury free and heal from those things because of the care at the Bone and Joint Institute. So check them out online, boneandjointtn.org.
We mentioned at the top of the show that preseason football is finally here, and while it doesn't count towards their regular season record, you can get some skin in the game, and it counts towards your bank account on BetMGM. To make it even better, BetMGM has a Refer a Friend invitation program to where current users can log into BetMGM and go to the Refer a Friend invitation. You can get up to $2,000 in bonus bets, because every time one of your friends signs up with BetMGM, they get $100 and you get $100 in bonus bets. You can invite up to 20 friends, so go ahead and text that BetMGM link out to all your text groups. Sign up and make some money in the process. BetMGM wants you to start the football season on the right foot. Take advantage of this new offer in order to do so.
All right, so Jack, your bold prediction number one, and I'll flash it up there as you can go up there in the chat on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and you can go read the percentage chance answers. But your first bold prediction, Arden Key with 10 plus sacks. So I'll let you read through the comments on what everybody's thinking.
Yeah, a lot of comments rolling in right now, and some pretty big numbers from what I'm seeing just off the bat. Steven starts us off with 65. Chris Frazier, a full 100%. I'm with you, Chris. I love that.
So by the way, real quick, timeout. Are you going to be at 100% for all these, because these are your bold predictions?
No, because they're bold for a reason, right?
That's right.
So we've got Guy Man says 15%. IR says 60%. Jay says 75. Zach Goodman, a Tupper, says 100%. He's fully confident that Arden Key gets to that double-digit number. Ashley says 75. Kevin checks in with a 45%. DeMarco says 60%. Stephen King with the highest number we've seen yet, 110%. Tights Kyle around 60%. J. Rome says 45. Jarvis says 75. Roy all the way at 100. So a few 100 so far. That's interesting. Charlie Hustle says 75%. Tighten Up Ohio 40. Maven Cole gives us a pro score at 43%. Orlando 40%. Eddie 33. Devin 49. Eric 80. So these are just a few of them right now. And, I wish I could get to all of y'all's, but unfortunately the show only has so much time. But a lot of people are over 50, some even in the hundreds. And Arden Key, though he hasn't played a snap yet for the Titans and has been kind of an enemy over the last few years in Jacksonville, it seems like he's a fan favorite already, and a lot of people have high expectations for him. So, Austin, I want to ask you, where are you checking in on this?
Well, so I'll ask you a question to answer your question. Jack, do you know how many players in the NFL had 10 plus sacks last season?
I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess and say that 18 players did it.
Oh, okay. You win. The Price is Right, because you didn't
bust,
and it was 19.
Oh, cool. All right.
So how about that? Jack gets the double. I forget what they call it at the end of the showcase. There you go.
Yeah, so I get a weekend. I got a weekend in Louisville.
Yeah, right. Look, 19 players had 10 plus sacks last season in the entire NFL. Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter were right. Cameron Hayward were the guys that were in 10 or 10 and a half. Look, I think it's interesting because look at the teammates here of guys who played on the same team that had north of 10 plus sack. I just mentioned Zadarius Smith and Daniel Hunter, Vikings teammates. How about the Philadelphia Eagles with Josh Sweat, Javon Hargrave, and Brandon Graham, who had 10 plus sacks? You had and Hassan Reddick had 16. The Philadelphia Eagles were just absolutely stupid with having 4 guys with 10 plus sacks. I think that was a record for that number there. And then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had multiple guys with Hayward and also with Alex Highsmith having 10 plus sacks. That's with the injury there to Mr. Watt, where he was not able to do that. But I do think it's interesting because J.J. Watt in his injury-riddled season and last season had 12 and a half. So I'm going to say my percentage chance for Arden Key to get to 10 plus sacks, I'm going to go slightly over 50. I'm going to say 55%.
Okay.
I'm going to say 55% chance. I like his ability. I like the fact that the Titans as a unit have a lot of people. If everybody stays healthy, which is something you have to say about all of these bold predictions and all of your season projections, I think Arden Key has a good shot because he's not going to face double teams. Like, you're going to double team Jeffrey Simmons and you're likely to chip on Harold Landry, right? So I think Arden Key's opportunity to have one-on-ones, especially in passing down situations, is a big deal. And so I say 55% chance that Arden Key gets 10 plus sacks this season. What's your percentage?
This is an interesting one because Arden Key's never had a 7-sack season in the NFL. But the opportunity that he's going to have this year is a little different than what he's had in his career so far. I'm going to go 70%. This is one of the bold predictions, and we're going to get to all 4, but this is one of my highest. This is one of the ones I'm most confident in. You know, Bud Dupree caused a lot of havoc when he was out there for the Titans. He wasn't out there all the time, but he was in the backfield just about all the time he was out there. Arden Key, I think he's going to have the durability that Dupree didn't have. You know, Dupree was coming off injuries, dealing with other stuff. Arden Key's fully motivated for this year. I think that he gets to 10 simply because of the attention, like you mentioned, that offensive lines and offensive coordinators are going to pay to the guys in the middle. And also, you know, a lot of people are going to remember what Harold Landry did 2 seasons ago to get paid all of that money. Arden Key's kind of been a rotational guy where he's been in San Francisco and even in Jacksonville, Las Vegas, wherever he's been. He's kind of just been a rotational guy. I think he's going to get a lot of time out there this season, especially early on, to set a nice pace. So I'm at 70% Arden Key gets to double-digit sacks this year.
All right. I think he's got 70% chance of blowing by the 7 number, or 8, I would go even higher. I think he's an 80-85% chance of having 7 plus sacks, you know, health being assumed.
Career
all
year.
these guys, right. Yeah. For the year.
I think we're expecting a career season for Arden Key this year. And,
no doubt. The way this guy looks, how much fun he's having paired with his level of pissed off and excited and opportunistic. I think he's going to be a fun guy to watch throughout the entire year. So again, Jack's first bold prediction, Arden Key with 10 plus sacks this season. Jack, you say 70% chance it happens. I say 55% chance. All right, on to the next bold prediction for this Titan season, as Jack has 4 of them. We go defense first. We go offense second. We're going to tight end Chig Okonkwo. Jack's second bold prediction, Chig Okonkwo makes the Pro Bowl. Chig to the Pro Bowl. Jack, I will let you defend yourself here.
Yeah, year 2 for Chig. Didn't get a whole lot of time in the first half of the season in 2022, but down the stretch, those last 7 games, he really came on strong. And Chig might be the Titans' best run after the catch option here. He had 3 catches of 40 plus yards last season, as I stumble over that stat. But, you know, down the stretch in those 7 games, 24 catches, averaged 40 yards a game. And if you do the math and kind of equate that out to a 17-game pace, he would have finished last year with 680 receiving yards, which puts him at 11th amongst NFL tight ends last year. I think he takes another step forward. I think that just like Arden Key will have, you know, offensive coordinators paying attention to some of the other Titans pass rushers, defensive coordinators are going to be paying attention to guys like D-Hop and Traylon Burks, Derrick Henry. So Chig could thrive with some extra opportunity this season. And I think getting him in that starting role to where he hits the ground running early on in the season is going to be really beneficial for him. And, my last point is the Pro Bowl has gotten a lot easier to get into, as the years
So
have gone on.
I think that's a key thing here. Not pun intended. We've done talking Arden Key, but is this Chig to be like included in the Pro Bowl because of alternates as well?
Well, I mean, a Pro Bowler is a Pro Bowler, and we've seen Mitchell Trubisky, I think, get in there twice. So, you don't have to be at the top of your position. Guys are going to back out, and, there's going to be a few guys that are headed to the Super Bowl or made a run in the playoffs that aren't going to be able to attend. So, obviously, I'm factoring that in. I'm not saying that he's going to get in as, one of the primary vote getters, but there's going to be an opportunity for him to slip in with maybe a back out or two. I do think that Chig's going to have a big season, though.
So let's just have to say this. So your bowl prediction, Chig makes the Pro Bowl. Last year, there are always two AFC tight ends that make the Pro Bowl. Odds are one of those are probably going to opt out. So I think what you're saying is that Chig will be a top 3 AFC tight end.
Again, he doesn't have to be a top 3 AFC tight end.
So
he probably has to be a top 6 AFC tight end
to make the bowl. So last year it was Kelsey, Mark Andrews, and then Dawson Knox for the Bills replaced Travis Kelsey. So
and those were the guy to watch.
So those were the 3 that made it, right? Mm-hmm. So those 3 guys get to call themselves Pro Bowlers last season. So let's just say 4. Chig. So you're saying Chig is a top 4 AFC tight end, right? That's kind of your bold prediction here.
Well, yeah, I think he's the potential to be that. And he's primarily a pass catcher, so he's not going to be out there every single play. If they need Wesco to step in and block somebody or maybe give him a different look, Wesco's going to be in there, maybe along with Chig. We'll see. But I am confident that Chig, gives that 700 receiving yards number a solid push this year. And if he gets there, I think he's got a solid shot to make his first Pro Bowl.
So again, we asked you this for Arden Key. We're going to do this again throughout this show of Jack's 4 bowl predictions. What percentage chance do you give Chig Okonkwo to make the Pro Bowl? So we're saying top 4 AFC tight end this season. What percentage chance do you give Chig to make the Pro Bowl? But first, Krebs Kubota, they can take care of you for all of your equipment needs. So go check them out online at KrebsKubota.com. But they are an elite Kubota dealer. So what does that mean? What does it mean to be an elite Kubota dealer? 1, the Kubota equipment line is the best in the business. There is no other anybody else touching what Kubota has when it comes to their equipment. They also have incredible warranties that cannot be matched by any other line. So that's why you need Kubota. Why do you need Kubota and why do you need Krebs Kubota? Because the Krebs family have been serving Middle Tennessean for over 18 years. They have 3 incredible locations in Franklin, Murfreesboro, and Columbia. I went and saw the Murfreesboro location back in the spring, trying to get out there once training camp cools off a little bit to go see our guys, Matt and Jamie, again, talk some Titans with them, learn more about why Krebs Kubota is the best, because Krebs Kubota always thrives on and building customer service reputation because they want to build a relationship with you. They want to make sure that you feel comfortable with the machinery, the power units you are getting for your applications at your home, your projects, the extra implementations that you need on top of the power units, big or small. Krebs Kubota's got you covered online or in Franklin, Columbia, and in Murfreesboro online at KrebsKubota.com.
Check out BetMGM before tonight's game and really before the NFL season gets going. There's still college football win totals up. There's plenty of stuff to bet on over there. But before you bet on anything, make sure you're cashing in on BetMGM's Refer a Friend invitation, because current users can log into BetMGM, go to the Refer a Friend invitation, and get up to $2,000 in bonus bets, because every time a friend signs up with BetMGM, they get $100 and you get $100, all in bonus bets. You can invite up to 20 friends and have those free rolls ready to go and start the football season in the green. So if you're going to be betting on preseason, which is volatile anyways, make sure you're on your free roll with those bonus bets. So invite your friends as soon as you can. Take advantage of this great offer BetMGM has going on.
All right, Jack. So bold prediction number 2 for you. Chig Okonkwo makes the Pro Bowl. I'll let you go to the chat to answer the question, reads the comments. What percentage chance do you give Chig to make the Pro Bowl this season.
Okay, these numbers just off the bat are not as high as the Arden Key double-digit sack numbers, and that's fine.
Yes.
That's kind of what I expected. Kenneth says 20%. IR says 5%. Dre Wilson's fairly confident. He's at 60%. I like Steven's score, 84%. Fade checks in with 63. Lou Man, good to hear from you again. He's at 33%, as is Orlando. Eric Castillo is at 40%. We've got Andre Bunting, 45%. Titans Kyle says 5%. There's too much of a popularity contest, and that is something that Chig can get over. However, I think fantasy football could help in that regard for Chig as an emerging tight end in that realm. Devin Mills, 69%. Matt Stotler says 65%. Tighten up, 40. Nick Ewing, 25. Jarvis, 50. I bet his backside's hurting because he's sitting on the fence. Jay says 35%. Danny Whitson, just over 50 at 51%. Maven, another pro score, 67%. Titan Fox says 60. Grim Jim, 75. Tighten Up Ohio says 20. So mixed board here.
Yeah.
No 100s. We saw a few with Arden Key, but nobody that confident that Chig cracks the Pro Bowl this year.
Jack, this is the lowest percentage I'm going to have for any of your 4 predictions.
Really?
Just because, I just think there's too much ground to cover for Chig, and whoever was commenting about it being a popularity contest is pretty damn spot on. Travis Kelce is going to make the Pro Bowl unless he misses the majority of the season. Travis Kelce is going to be in the Pro Bowl. He was 8th in receiving in the entire NFL with 1,300 plus yards. And the next tight end was TJ Hawkinson, 26th with 400 less yards. Now, TJ Hawkinson's in the NFC, so you don't have to worry about him. But Mark Andrews is in the AFC, who is going to be a good one. I think Evan Ingram in his second year in Jacksonville has an opportunity to become a Pro Bowl watch tight end. I think another one too, a young tight end in Pittsburgh in the AFC you have to watch out for, Pat Freiermuth, as he gets his career going a little bit more. So those are 3 AFC tight ends that had significantly more yards than Chig did last year in the AFC. And so I just think it's going to be really tough for Chig to break through here. Other tight ends like Dalton Schultz is also a member of the Houston Texans. So if there's going to be a Houston Texan to make the Pro Bowl, it could probably be Dalton Schultz for that roster. But I'm at a 10% chance that Chig makes it. It's just such a tough thing to crack. Like tight end might be the hardest position to make the Pro Bowl in because there's only 2 that get initially named and because you've got Travis Kelce taking up half of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I understand. And with Evan Ingram, I will say there's only 1 ball in Jacksonville, and Calvin Ridley's back this year, which could eat into some of his production. Darren Waller made the move from the AFC to the NFC, now playing with the Giants. So there is kind of a path. Obviously, Dalton Schultz and the Bills Mafia, they're going to do everything they can to get him in.
Dawson, I'm trying to find Dawson Knox on the stats here on receiving stats, and I'm having a hard time finding where Dawson Knox is. But he was an alternate for the Pro Bowl, but he was 80th in the NFL in receiving, and AFC tight ends ahead of him that did not make it, like Tyler Conklin, Gerald Everett had more receiving yards in the AFC. Let's see, David Njoku in Cleveland had more receiving yards. So that kind of tells you, like, Dawson Knox was the 3rd tight end, and there were like 4 or 5 AFC tight ends that made it that he made it ahead of. So I think it's tough.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm under 50% here. These are bold predictions for a reason. However, I do think there's a chance. I'm going to give Chig a 25% shot of cracking the Pro Bowl, which I think is high for considering the obstacles in front of him. And the chat's on point with 1 point. Josh Wiley, what's he going to do for the Titans this year? Could he potentially eat into some of that? I know Titans Amy came on the Tighten Up podcast and was very high on Wiley coming out of the draft. So, he could be a guy that also steps up for the Titans in the passing game this year. But I do think that Chig is so valuable. Hopefully Tim Kelly can use him in kind of the same way that Arthur Smith utilized Jonnu Smith and maximize his production. And, with fantasy football being a big thing and Chig maybe getting drafted this year and there's a little bit of buzz around him, Hopefully that helps his popularity because the Titans are a small market team. I know the fans are going to do everything they can to get him in, but having a good fantasy season, as crazy as it sounds, it would be big for his Pro Bowl chances.
Yeah, A to Z Sports here live on this Thursday. So what was your percentage again?
I'm at 25%.
25%. Is this the lowest you're at for year 4?
Slightly, just barely the lowest.
Okay.
There's one that's pretty close.
Okay. All right. So let's get to that next one because we're going with Jack's season bold prediction for 4 Titans players. We've gone Arden Key, 10 plus sacks. We've got Chig Okonkwo to make the Pro Bowl. Now our third bold prediction for Mr. Jack A. Gentry, the Tighten Up podcast. Christian Fulton leads the Titans in interceptions. It is a big year for Christian Fulton. Contract year, an injury-riddled season, getting called out by the head coach. And Jack, why do you think Christian Fulton can lead the team in interceptions this season?
Because he's talented enough to. He's only got 4 picks in his career, but he also hasn't played a season in which he logged over 13 games. And his best year came in 2021, where he had 14 passes defense. Looks like he looked like a top 10, 15 corner that season. The biggest hurdle he's got is that Kevin Byers behind him. The ultimate eraser on defense. So if Fulton has a healthy season, which he hasn't, he's played in 30 games in 3 seasons. It's a low number. I think he has a chance to do this. He trained on his own this offseason, which was new for him. Obviously, the soft tissue stuff has rubbed Mike Vrabel and the Titans brass the wrong way. It's a contract year for Fulton. He needs to have a big year. He knows he needs to in order to stay in town or in order to make money somewhere else. So I think he's going to be highly motivated this season. And, entering his 4th year with Shane Bowen calling the shots on defense, there's some comfortability. He can play instinctually and trust his gut. So I think there's going to be less thinking, more acting for Fulton this year. He's just got to stay healthy. I think he gives it a run. 4 or 5 intercepts, 5 may do it. And I think he's got a good shot. The Titans are going up against some great quarterbacks this season who will be throwing the ball a whole lot more than they'll be running it. So we'll have some opportunity across from either Sean Murphy-Bunting or Roger McCreary. It's going to be a pick your poison. I don't know that offensive coordinators are going to be exactly scared of any of those 3 just yet, but they will have to respect Fulton, and Fulton will prove that by logging a couple early on in the year.
All right, so already people playing the game. What percentage chance do you give Christian Fulton to lead the Titans in interceptions? David says 10%. Steven says 0. 4.2. Buyer coming out with a chip on his shoulder. So Lou Man says, I like this take. I'm moving up to 92%. So we'll get to more of your percentages. What percentage chance do you give Christian Fulton to lead the Titans in interceptions? But first, Farm Bureau Health Plans, they can save you money and help lead you to the right path when it comes to getting your health coverage taken care of. Farm Bureau Health Plans, they've been serving Tennesseans for over 75 years and do an amazing job of helping you find the right coverage plan for you with your health, your dental, your vision. You can do all of it. You can pick and choose. Maybe your employer has a great health coverage plan for you. That's totally fine. But maybe you need dental, you need better vision from what they have to offer, and you can just go to Farm Bureau Health Plans for that. Or you can do the whole kit and caboodle. Zach changed to Farm Bureau Health Plans over a year and a half ago. He's saving 20% on his health coverage, and he has way better health coverage. He actually gets to go to the dentist on that plan. He gets reimbursed for his contacts that he has to get with his vision. So check them out right there at Farm Bureau Health Plans. Their website is fbhp.com/ATOZ.
Yes, talking about BetMGM as my screen continues to load here. BetMGM's got a great refer a friend invitation program that you guys can take advantage of simply by referring some of your friends who are also interested in getting some skin in the game with BetMGM. Refer a friend, and you can log up to $2,000 in bonus bets by inviting 20 of your friends. Each one of your friends that joins will get 100 in bonus bets, along with you taking home $100 in bonus bets. It's a great time to start betting. Football season's right around the corner. MLB's in full swing. A lot going on. Women's World Cup. There's plenty of stuff to get some action in on. So go to BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Make sure you take advantage of this offer.
All right, Jack. So Christian Fulton leads the Titans in interceptions. That is your bold prediction number 3. What percentage chance does the audience think Christian Fulton can lead the Titans in interceptions? Jack, I was looking. Kevin Byard had 4 last season. So I feel like to have a good chance to lead the team in picks, you probably need to have 4. KB is good for 3 or 4 each year at least, and I think 4 would be that target number to look at for Christian Fulton. And he's got 4 in his career through the 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, and I think a lot of Titans fans have been disappointed because he hasn't been available, but simply because they know if he is available, he's got a chance to. I mean, he's got a chance to make a Pro Bowl. He's got that talent. I think Titans fans see that. When he steps out there going up against some of these top flight receivers, Vrabel isn't afraid to put him on those guys. It's just a matter of volume. How many times is he going to be thrown at? And interceptions, let's face it, it's kind of a fluky stat. It can go, a couple different ways each season. Deflected balls, batted balls at the line all play into it. So it's a fluky stat, but I do think that there's a shot that Fulton can lead the team in interceptions. And before I get to the chat here, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, let me get to the chat before I get to my opinion. 40% from MB. DeMarco's also at 40% with KB back there. Kevin Jones, 27.25. So we're going to the 100th decimal point. Tighten Up says 5. Steven says, no way, Jose. Same with Ashley. Kennan says 5. Oh, my goodness, you guys are low. IR Hoshi says 30%. J-Rome says 15. Titan Fox at 20. Danny Whitson, 15. John Vargas, 55. Titans Kyle, 33. Samuel King, 40. Ronnie at 53. Esco says 60. Jarvis says 20. Ken says 15. 1% says Brad Anderson. The rest of these I'm looking at are just about all under 50%. Titans Ohio's at 70%. But that's kind of where I'm leaning. I know that there's a chance, but if BetMGM were to place odds on who would lead the Titans in interceptions, I think Kevin Byard's your heavy favorite, maybe like minus 300 or something.
I don't think it's that. Well, I'm looking at the last 2 years, Byard's had 9 total. David Long is the only player the last 2 years outside of Byard to have multiple picks in each of the last 2 seasons.
That's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
I'm going 33%. I forgot who put it in the chat. 33%. Maybe it was Titans Kyle. 33%, but I'm giving Byard, probably 60%. And, wild card, SMB, McCreary, Amani Hooker can take the last set. They can split that a few ways. So I think 33%. Fulton's got what it takes. He's got elite ball skills. He's got elite coverage skills. It's all about staying on the field.
I think Christian Fulton has the second highest percentage chance to lead the team in picks. Kevin Byard's just going to take the lion's share of it. So I think Kevin Byard, 60% chance to lead the team. So where's the other 40%? I think I give 20% for Christian Fulton to lead the team in picks. I think he's going to have a good year. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to have a lot of interceptions, though. He could have a great year and still, have 2 or 3 picks there. He had 1 last year. He had 2 the year before, which was his best year so far in his career. So I think 20% chance he's got leads the team in interceptions. KB is just too good, and the safety position is just more opportunistic when it comes to playing the center of the field, having an opportunity to chase, to track down, also get tip passes that happen in the middle of the field. So I say KB leads that. Christian Fulton looks the part. His body is physically different. He's aggressive. He's out there. He's been in tight coverage. He's been the victim of DeAndre Hopkins and Traylon Burks' best play to the first week of practice, but that's not his fault. Those are one-on-ones. So I say 20% chance for Christian Fulton.
Here's something to keep an eye on. The Titans are playing 5 rookie quarterbacks this season. If CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson both start in each of those matchups against the Titans, they'll play Bryce Young in Nashville. They're also going up against Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, and Baker Mayfield down in Tampa Bay. They're going to have opportunities. I think that by the end of the season, the Titans could be in the top 5 in takeaways on defense.
So were you counting Richardson and Stroud twice for the 5?
Yes, 5 games. Richardson and Stroud twice, Bryce Young once.
Okay.
And you got Ridder, who's essentially a redshirt rookie.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. When only 3 quarterbacks get drafted in the first round, you play all 3 of them, and then you drafted the 4th. So that's kind of where you're at there. So it is interesting that they play 5 games against those 3 rookies there. So yeah, compared to the last couple of years, they've been playing all the talented quarterbacks. I mean, you just look at the schedule that we have in here, yeah, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is not immune to throwing picks. I mean, you've got Derek Carr. They've picked off Derek Carr several times in his career. I think Justin Herbert, Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow there, tough picks to come by. Kevin Byard's got a reputation of just intercepting Lamar Jackson every time he sees the guy. Then you're talking about that's the stretch there, Jack. After the bye week, those games, those beautiful. 6 for the defense, right? Like we've talked about the offense and the quarterback situation with those 5 or 6 games after the bye. But Ritter, Pickett, Baker, Lawrence, Bryce Young, Richardson, right? Then Tua.
If he's healthy in week 14.
I mean, you've got then you're just playing Stroud. Then you've got, Geno Smith. Like the quarterbacks this year are so much easier to deal with compared to what the Titans have had the last couple seasons.
Absolutely. That back end is it just makes me smile looking at it because of the possibilities. There's a lot of opportunities, and when you have a defense that's played together for as long as this Titans unit for the most part, there's a chance to do some real damage back there, and I think Fulton gets in on the action.
Yeah, Orlando just says start the damn season already. Yeah, I feel you.
I'm with you.
Last bold prediction here from Jack. We go to the quarterback. Ryan Tannehill gets back to his 2020 form and throws 30-plus touchdown passes on the season. So, Jack, I will let you explain yourself. Why do you think Ryan Tannehill throws 30 touchdown passes this season?
Well, he's only done it once as a Titan. But it was a 33 touchdown season in 2020, which also happened to be the same year that Derrick Henry ran for 2,000 yards. So, although you're a run-first football team, he's done it before in Derrick Henry's most productive season as a Tennessee Titan. Tannehill's thrown 89 touchdowns and 55 starts since he's been with the team. That's 1.6 touchdowns a game. Now, simple math. Don't want to make too much math happen here. 1.6 times 17 is going to get you to 27.5, which I think is a fair over-under for Tannehill this season. With D-Hop healthy, I think he erased some of the health concerns that he had about his knee last year. I know he didn't play the last 2 games, but they were 4-11, kind of shut him down for the last 2, uses the knee as an excuse, which is reasonable to preserve some trade value, although they couldn't trade him.
The ankle, right. He had the ankles, the surgery.
And a lot of people are going to say, well, how come Tannehill's only done it once? He had A.J. Brown for 3 years. Well, yeah, sure. His first season, he came in halfway through. Mariota kind of sold the year. Tannehill had to pick up the mess. And then in 2021, A.J. missed 4 games. You had Julio Jones coming in. They paid a lot of attention to try and acclimate him into the offense. That year was obviously a disaster.
Tannehill was the one who stayed healthy that year.
Exactly. That was the year they secured the 1 seed by the defense just standing on its head all season. So I think that he gets back to some of that efficient Tannehill stuff that we've seen last year. 13 touchdowns, 2 bad ankles, and the same problem. Who do you have to throw to? So I think D-Hop gives you a great option. We talked about Chig earlier as a guy. I think the guy that's going to really help Tannehill get here that nobody's going to talk about, Tajay Spears out of the backfield. He's going to be a weapon in the red zone. I think that Tannehill's going to benefit from that and flirt with the 30 touchdown number this year.
Okay. All right. So you guys know the game by now. What percentage chance you think Ryan Tannehill gets 30 touchdown passes this season? What percentage chance do you think Ryan Tannehill gets 30-plus touchdown passes this season? But first, I'm going to tell you guys about Aura, who has a 100% chance of keeping me safe online because I signed up with Aura back in April, and they helped me out. And they had 30 data brokers that they found. Speaking of the number 30 data brokers had my information and were selling it to telemarketers and spammers. I signed up with Aura and they opted me out of all of those things on my behalf without me lifting a finger. And so now I get less spam calls, less junk mail, less things in my mailbox and email inbox. And that's actually the truth, guys. Like, I'm not messing around. Like, spam calls don't happen to me anymore. It's pretty awesome. And then what Aura also does is they help manage my passwords. They protect my passwords. They let me know with an app notification, hey, a password might have been leaked in a data breach. Go change it. Okay, thanks, Aura. I change it. Now I don't have to worry about it and I move on with my life where I don't have to sit there and think about, passwords that might be breached. So you can do all of that and it takes 2 or 3 minutes to set up. It's really easy. And our link, aura.com/ATOZ, gets you a 2-week free trial. That's a 2-week free trial. Doesn't matter where you live. In the United States, it does not matter. A 2-week free trial keeps you safe online with aura.com/ATOZ. Those data brokers removed from my life in like 5 or 6 days. So all it took 5 or 6 days, and we're giving you 2 free weeks in whole at aura.com/ATOZ.
Free is me, Austin. And if you know
Yeah.
anything about free BetMGM, it's going to help you out with maybe some free bonus bets to help start your football season on the right note. They've got a refer a friend invitation. Current users can log into the BetMGM app, go to the refer a friend invitation. You can invite up to 20 friends, collect up to $2,000 in bonus bets, because each time one of your friends joins with BetMGM, they'll get $100 in bonus bets and you'll get $100 in bonus bets to help you start off on the right foot. Everyone wants to start the football season in the green. BetMGM is the place to do it. Easy to navigate, plenty of selection. Check out BetMGM.
Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 or older, Tennessee only. New and existing customer offer. All promotions, subject to qualification, eligibility requirements. Rewards issued knowledgeable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. And for public game sport, call Tennessee Redline 800-889-9789. Jack, your last of 4 bold predictions. Ryan Tannehill, 30-plus touchdown passes. What percentage chance does the audience think that number 17 can do it again and go for 30-plus?
Well, we're getting the answers that you'd expect. We've got a 0 to start off from Joey, and then bang, Matt says 100%. So exactly where we want to be. Tighten Up Ohio says 55.
Polarizing.
Steven says 78. Jesse's at 17. Lou Man's confident at 92. Ryan says 60. Tighten Up at just 3%. So there is a chance. Major Keys, 90%. Chris Frazier, 80%. Eric Davis is at 90. IR says 75. A lot of high numbers. There's still some belief in Tannehill out here. Don't let the internet fool you. 50% from Rikiti. 30 from Orlando. John says 80. Dylan Cole, the Chicago Bear, former Titans linebacker. I'm just kidding. It's a popular name. Says 65%. Roy says 100%. Finally, we got receivers, says Chris Frazier. And that's a good point.
So,
Jack, how
Jack,
do you feel?
I feel pretty good about this. I'm going back through my percentages just so I can make sure I keep all my things straight. Arden Key, I had at 55% chance to get 10-plus sacks. I gave Chig just a 10% chance to make the Pro Bowl, and I gave Christian Fulton a 20% chance to lead the Titans in interceptions. And so for Ryan Tannehill's 30 touchdown passes, Jack, this is the one I like the most.
Really?
I'm going to go 65% chance.
Oh, yeah, baby.
65% chance that Ryan Tannehill gets the 30 touchdown passes this season. You just look at what he did in his first 2 seasons with the Titans. Just played in 12 games, through 22 in that 2019 season, taking over for Mariota, and then followed up with 33 touchdowns in those 16 games the year after that. And they were throwing it down the field. They had explosive plays. They had run after the catch, and Derrick Henry was still that dude. And so I think Ryan Tannehill, I'm not going to say he's going to be 2020 Ryan Tannehill because that was just phenomenal. He also had 7 rushing touchdowns. So in 2020, he had 40 total touchdowns. I think that he's not going to get that high, but I absolutely think he gets to 30. I think 65% chance is where I'm at with that. I think he should. I think D-Hop and Burks can both flirt with that double-digit number. And then I think you've got touchdown scorers, right? You've got Chig. I think you've got Tajay Spears can be a touchdown scorer in the red zone. I think you've got some other bigger bodies that know how to create separation. So I say 65% chance for Tannehill. That's my highest number today.
Yeah, interesting that you brought up his rushing touchdowns because that's something that could get in the way of this 30 number, although I don't think Titans fans would be too upset because 6 points is 6 points on the board. Look at his receivers. These guys are going to thrive in the red zone. D-Hop's big. Traylon Burks is huge. Chig can get it done in the red zone. You've got Josh Wiley, who is, tall as a skyscraper over there. And then Tajay Spears and Kyle Phillips, and those shorter, shiftier guys that can get free up and near the goal line. So he's got a lot of weapons he can work with. Staying healthy is huge. Obviously, that's a given. And then Derrick Henry. Our team's going to sell out on Derrick Henry in the box with D-Hop on the offense now. I still think so. I think they're going to force Tannehill to beat him. I think he's capable of beating him like he showed year in and year out outside of last year. So, yeah, I'm at 60% here. I think 60% is the right number. Not fully confident. He's only done it once as a Titan. Hasn't had a lot of time to do it. Only 2 full seasons as a starting quarterback with injuries, and then the Mariota stuff got in the way there. But Tannehill's got what it takes. D-Hop's going to stay healthy. Traylon Burks, he looks new and improved. Chig's second year in his offense. Kyle Phillips' second year in the offense. There's just a lot of optimism for me surrounding Tannehill's performance this year. And you add in, it's a contract season for Tannehill. He needs to ball out. I think that he thinks that there's still a chance he's a Titan next year. I still think there's a chance he's a Titan next year. If he hits 30 touchdowns, 30 passing touchdowns, I think that he's going to be back again.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting, Jack. The last two guys, contract year for Christian Fulton, contract year for Ryan Tannehill.
Contract year for Arden Key. He's on a
no,
1
Arden
year.
Key's a 3-year deal.
Oh, 3-year deal.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's true.
yeah. But hey, but he's still motivated, right? Like Arden
Yeah.
Key's pissed off because he's been bouncing around and he's trying to prove everybody else that they missed on him. And then Chig is just a second-year guy who we're looking to see there. So look, I think this has been a fun show. I really like the bold predictions here. I find it hilarious that you thought August 1st was the right time to throw out your 4 bold predictions. But hey, I'm glad you did because it got us through an off day of practice yesterday where nothing new happened. And now we get to hit the practice field again today. And I'm going to be headed out there here in a few minutes because practice is set to start at 9:15. Now, there's supposed to be rain. It looks like it's raining outside right now. I can't really tell from my window, but they might be moving in the bubble. But I got to get rolling. But hey, always thanks to the Magic Bucket, our sponsor for the Magic Bucket, Wilson County Hyundai. Check them out, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. is where to go to make them a part of your new car buying process. So make sure you go see our friends in Lebanon, Painbone and his team at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Magic Bucket is at Sam's house. Sam's at St. Thomas Sports Park. So I've got to get going to practice anyway. So no Magic Bucket this week, just like no trivia this week, because man, these 9:15, 9:30 practice times just make it really tough on you guy trying to get out there. But hey, like the show before you head out of here because that helps us out. Give us that thumbs up hit on the button on Facebook and on YouTube. It just makes the algorithm work better for us, which makes us have better conversations and it has you guys making new friends in the chat every day. So check it out. Give us that like and also subscribe to the YouTube channel for more Titans practice content coming out later on this morning. We'll see you guys tomorrow on a Friday. Check you later. Appreciate it as always.